Now, we're going to talk about the topic 2, composition of the Earth. Rock is the main composition of the Earth. Rock is made up of minerals, and it is in solid form. In general, there are 3 types of rock. The first type of the rock is igneous rock. The second type of the rock is sedimentary rock. The third type of the rock is metamorphic rock. These 3 types of rock will be detailed in the following part of the lesson. We first talk about the igneous rocks. Igneous rocks are formed through the cooling and solidification of the molten magma, or lava. It happens on the Earth's surface, or in the Earth's crust. It is hard, shiny, crystalline, unlayered, and do not contain fossils. The igneous rocks is rich with magnesium, silica, mineral water vapor, and gas. The examples of the igneous rocks are granite, gabbro, diorite, basalt, rhyolite, and pumice. This is the detail about the igneous rocks. About the sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks are formed through the deposition and compression of eroded materials. Dead plants and animals in the bottom of a river, lake, or ocean, for a long period. The eroded materials, dead plants and animals, are brought into the sea by rivers, glaciers, or wind, and are deposited into the seabed as sediments. Sedimentation takes place in layers, under high temperature and pressure. So, these rocks are not crystallized, layered, and often contain fossil. The examples of the sedimentary rocks are shale, sandstone, and limestone. About the metamorphic rocks. Metamorphic rocks are formed from igneous rocks and sedimentary rocks. When they are exposed to very high temperature and pressure in the Earth's crust. When the high temperature magma, from inside, enters the Earth's crust, the igneous rocks and sedimentary rock will experience changes in structure, texture, color, and mineral content. And eventually, the metamorphic rock is formed. A metamorphic rock is harder, smoother, color is brighter, and impermeable compared to its original rock. Examples of the metamorphic rocks are gneiss, marble, and quartzite. Gneiss is formed from granite, where marble is formed from limestone. Quartzite is formed from sandstone. This part will talk about the process of the rock formation. The process of the rock formation in the geosphere can be explained through the continuous rock cycle. The rock cycle is the changes of the rocks from one type to another. The rock cycle involves the destruction or changes of types of the rock due to erosion, weathering, and magmatic activity, and formation of new rocks. Igneous rocks are formed by the process of cooling and solidification of hot magma. Sedimentary rocks are formed by the process of weathering and erosion of igneous rocks. When the eroded materials are deposited to the seabed, metamorphic rocks are formed by the transformation process of igneous and sedimentary rocks. This is a very high pressure and temperature process. Magma is formed from the metamorphic rocks by the process of liquefaction and very high temperature. The is the full content of topic 2, composition of the Earth. The third topic of the chapter is main processes of the Earth. The surface of the Earth is continuously changing. The change involves 2 processes. The first is exogenic process, the process that happen on the Earth's surface. The second is endogenic process, the process that comes from the interior of the Earth. These 2 processes will be detailed in the following part of the lesson. We first talk about the exogenic process. The exogenic process is the process that takes place above the surface of the Earth. An exogenic process is originated from the outside of the Earth's surface, especially the Sun. The Sun influences the weather and climate on the Earth's surface, which in turn affect the sunlight, wind, rain, running water, and the wave. That will result in exogenic processes. The exogenic processes have created various landforms on the surface of the Earth. There is 5 main exogenic processes. The first is weathering. The second is erosion. The third is mass depletion and land depletion. The fourth is transport. The fifth is sedimentation. This 5 main exogenic processes will be detailed in following part of lesson. We first talk about the weathering of exogenic process. The weathering agent, such as rainwater, temperature change, frosting, sunlight, can cause the process of fragmentation and decomposition or decay of rock. The rocks that experience the weather will be broken into smaller pieces and become soils. Weathering process can take place physically, chemically, and biologically. For the physical weathering process, it happens when the rock is undergoing a thermal expansion that results in rock cracking and breaking. For the chemical weathering, it happens when the rock oxidized by the weathering agents, like acid rain. For the biological weathering, it happens when the growing plant roots exert stress or pressure on rock, which result the cracking and breaking of the rock. The second stage of the exogenic process is erosion. Erosion occurs when the moving agents, such as moving water, waves, and wind, wear away the Earth's surface. The erosion is kinetic energy and friction. When eroding agents move across the Earth's surface. The third is mass depletion and land depletion. Mass depletion and land depletion is the process of movement of soil, sand, or rock debris down the slope due to the Earth's gravitational force. Landslide and mud flow are the examples of mass depletion and land depletion. The fourth exogenic process is transportation. This is the transportation of the weathered or eroded materials by transporting agents, such as moving water, wind, waves, and glaciers. The fifth stage, or final stage of exogenic process is sedimentation. Sedimentation is the process of formation of the sediment at the bottom of lake or sea. Sedimentation occurs when material transported by agents are deposited to the bottom of the lake or sea by the gravitational force. When the velocity of moving agents becomes low. The second earth process is endogenic process. Endogenic process is the process that originates from the interior of the earth. An endogenic process can cause the movement of the earth's crust, formation of mountain, plateaus, and plains, and the geohazard phenomena, such as earthquakes and volcanic activity on the earth's surface, are the result of endogenic process. There are 3 main endogenic processes of the earth. The first is mantle convection process. The second is Earth's crust movement. The third process is magmatic activity. This 3 endogenic process of the Earth will be detailed in the following part. We first talk about the mantle convection process. Mantle convection process is the movement of the mantle from the interior to the Earth's surface. It is due to the convection currents that convey the heat from the interior to the surface of the Earth. The convection current in the asthenosphere layer is due to the high temperature of the mantle and core layer. The movement of the convection current exerts a strong force that can move to the Earth's crust. Mantle convection process can result in earthquakes and volcanic eruption. The second process of endogenic process is Earth's crust movement. Plate tectonics is the theory states that the Earth's crust is divided into several plates, which always moving on the upper part of the mantle layer. due to the convection current in the mantle. The moving of the tectonic plates cause the collision and divergence, which produces various landforms and continental drift. Collision occurs when two plates collide to each other. Divergence occurs when two plates move away from each others. The third endogenic process is magmatic activity. High temperature and convection current in the mantle layer causes the hot and molten magma rises to the surface of Earth through the volcanic eruptions, and solidification on the Earth's crust produces various landforms, which are igneous rock. The discussion of topic 3, main processes of the Earth, end here.